Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video I am very excited to show you guys that I have back the letters of authenticity plus the boxes themselves for that 14 box Wizards of the Coast submission that I sent off to XRAY Authority. Now, the reason I'm getting this one back before the one I sent prior, which was with the base boxes and the first edition blisters and that kind of stuff, is because this one right here I had requested to be put on a rush, so they put that other one on a hold. And also, I'm not getting these are not graded. These are just, they were checked for authenticity. And so I'm going to show you guys what you get for that service and why I think it's important. So right off the bat, this is something that I think is really nice. Just having this, it's laminated. That little bit of lamination, I don't know what it is, but I really appreciate the fact that they did that, because I probably would not have did it on my own. And I think this is going to preserve this letter of authenticity for the long run, much more so than me with a sheet of paper sticking it into a folder. I don't even know if it'll get bent this way, but nice and well centered. I like the professionalism. I know these are just little things that really don't matter, but for me it does. To me it says professionalism when you see this kind of thing. But anyways, up here you have a sticker. This is one of those tamper evident stickers. You can see it says XRAY 0617, and then the letter of authenticity. So if you ever see someone say LOA, that's what this is referring to. Shows the site, the name of the company. But then right here, it says 2000 Pokemon Base Set 2 Factory Sealed Booster Box, 36 packs. So it's saying that this is authentic, and these are the reasons why it is authentic. Then you have 3 people signing with their names, and then there's a date down there. So this in itself is basically XRAY Authority putting their name behind, hey, we believe this is real, and this is why we've checked these things. And from what I've been told, they actually check a few other things as well, but these are like their 4 main presentable things that they can tell you. All right, so with that said, we've got, so I'm going to go through a few of these. I've got a few boxes here. I want to show you guys some things that they did. So like, here's the other XRAY one, and it's not some crazy number. It is 0618, so the last one's 0617. I had 2 of the base set 2 boxes. I'm not going to show you every box, but I'm going to show a few of them. Then we had 2 of the Team Rocket Unlimited. You got the 619, 620. All of these, those 4 have passed. Then we have the Fossil Unlimited. This is 0621. I did want to show you a few Fossil because, remember, we had concerns over one of these. All right, so it's not this first one because I submitted 3 of the Fossil booster boxes. So this one right here is 0622. I couldn't believe when I saw this. I actually got this, I guess, certification number, because that's my birthday, June 22nd, 622, and 22 is my favorite number. But yeah, so we got it right there. This Fossil box may not be going anywhere just because it has that on there. And yeah, so that's what it looks like on the box. I wanted this to be the first one that I showed you. All it is this little tamper evidence sticker that they actually stick on here. So if you go to pull this off, you're pretty much voiding this letter of authenticity, because then this isn't going to match up. And I imagine if they caught wind of it, they would just remove this from the registry or whatever it is that they keep on the back side. In which we'll talk about that as well, because there is a QR code that we did not discuss there. But yeah, so there's that little tamper evidence strip. Got their logo on it. And the one that we were concerned with was this next one here. As you can see, this is also a Fossil booster box, 0623. It did pass all the way around. The reason we were concerned with it, because look at this. Like, if you saw this box on eBay and you saw, this right here, this tear underneath, you would be concerned. You'd be concerned that, hey, there's something wrong with this box, because, when I got it in, all the regular checks checked out. We have, let me zoom in a little bit. This wrap, it feels right. I know that sounds crazy, but that is one of the biggest indicators for whether or not the box is real. Like, because these logos can be faked. This, I don't know, something about this cellophane, like, that it's 20 years old or so. And I'm sure that there's ways that people can fake it, and, they're going to continue to get better. And, there's a lot of other little things, like where the heat seal holes come in, going across the surface of the box. the way the logos are positioned, how they usually stop. They're not on both sides of this seal. You don't see them below here. If you see what I'm talking about, how all the logos are on the top. The size of the logos, the distance between the wording here and the bottom of the logo, the little R mark there, the weight of the box, how they're positioned inside. There's all these little things and more that you can use to try to determine whether or not something is fake. If they pass all of these checks, usually it's a good indicator, hey, this is real. But if you have one thing that throws you off, maybe somebody is aware of all this stuff and they were able to do a good fake, but then it's like, how do you get that on here? And so what likely happened here was maybe this was the bottom sheet on a rack of uncut sheets for like the boxes, because I don't know if you noticed, but these boxes, they come in uncut sheets as well, or at least some of them do. I'm not exactly sure how it worked. I have had some of these box flats before that didn't have the there's a number that will be printed on the inside of this box. This is in just like black ink. I've had some that were just box flats without that number. They never went into circulation. And then I've had some uncut sheets as well for these booster boxes. But anyways, it could have been on the bottom, or maybe when somebody pulled it off, or it got pulled off by the machine, maybe there was a tear and they just decided, hey, we're just going to use this anyways. Nobody's going to really care because it's not like it's affecting the overall display of the product. And maybe that's what happened. But it is a concern. Like, you don't know what happened. And so what XRAY here, what they're offering is, hey, we're going to scan it and we're going to tell you based off of the scans if the cards inside match up with what should be inside of this box. We're going to look at the crimps, the seals, make sure that every pack is sealed. And so to the best of our knowledge, I think that, we've done as much as we can to determine, hey, this box is legitimate. And we don't have to bust the seals to know it. We can preserve it. And while this right here, this sticker is being stuck on the box, that is it does not take away from the presentation. And having this here instills a lot of confidence. But anyways, let me move through a few more of these. All right, so that was the other fossil. What's the next one that we have here? Oh, yeah, so we had some Jungle Unlimited booster boxes, and I'm going to show you this number 30. So I'm going to keep this one out. I'm going to grab another one. So this one matches up with, it's not actually this one. So this is 24. I graded 4 of these. This is number 25, and here's number 26. And so I'm going to pull this one out, and then this is one that we had talked about. Now, if you look at these, you're going to notice this one has an extra line. This one says no expert logo. And so when I was discussing this with the guys there, he'd asked if there was anything special about any of these boxes that were different. And so I was like, yeah, with one of the Jungle boxes, it actually is missing the no expert logo. It doesn't actually mean anything for sure. I mean, there have been some that have speculated this is where the no symbol comes from, but I don't think that there's any evidence to suggest that they only come from this kind. I believe somebody had some luck with that, but let me show you what I'm talking about. This is something that can be easily identified. And so you can see right here, like, this does not have the expert logo right here. In fact, there are some versions, I think maybe the Belgian, I'm not, don't quote me on that, but I think it's actually moved up top. But this one right here does not have the expert logo. In fact, this one right here has a sticker on the front. This material, not for resale, thank you. And usually this right here means that it comes from a WotC employee. That's the only place I've ever seen these come from. But I told him that was not something that you'd want to put on the letter of authenticity, because you can't really prove that or verify it. But for this right here, yeah, I mean, anybody can look at this box and see, hey, this does not have the expert logo, and it doesn't indicate typically anything other than it may have been an earlier version, could have possibly come from a WotC employee, but also you can find these without this sticker as well. But it does not necessarily mean that you're going to get error packs in here. It's a possibility, but for all we know, you could have error packs in this as well. So for the label itself, just stick on here, it just exactly what it is. You know for sure that it doesn't have the expert logo, and so this identifies it. And of course, you can see right here we've got the 626, and that's going to be the same one as this side. And then this right here is the 630. Oh, that angle works a lot better for seeing. At least it seems to be from where I'm looking at through the camera. And so the fact that they will make variations distinguished on the letter of authenticity, I think that's great. If we're looking at, this right here, again, that's a messed up corner, with the cellophane. So just having that letter of authenticity, again, it just adds another layer of reassurance that, hey, even if all this other stuff checks out, you've got this red flag with the cellophane, and maybe somebody reused some wrap, that was real off another box, and the cards inside are they're not even from Jungle, or you have resealed packs. But this right here assures you that the crimps are good, and then the packs inside, from where the identified cards inside, it matches up to what should be in there. All right, next up, we did have a few base set booster boxes. You can see right here we have a regular blue wing. Let me see. Which one did I show? Is this 27? This is 27. So this is another one that had a little bit of concern with it. You can see right there, 0627. But, look right here. I mean, that's just like a messed up area with the wrap. Makes you concerned, like, was something stretched here? Somebody trying to reuse the wrap. But with this letter of authenticity, not only can I feel confident now by putting my name behind it because I think it's real, but also it's been scanned. Everything's good there. But what's cool is they did put blue wing here. We all know that there are green wing base set booster boxes. But then there was another box that was slightly different. You can see right here, this is 1999 2000 Pokemon base set unlimited. And the reason this doesn't say made in Australia or made in the UK is because this is actually a US variation that it's kind of scarce. But you can see on the bottom, this right here only has the one location, whereas a typical blue wing box will have all these different locations right here. You got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus just the one. And so this is the identifying marker that you can see from the outside of the box and know, hey, this isn't like your typical blue wing box. May not indicate anything different in price, but it's just another way to make sure that this sticker right here is matching up to the right sticker here and the information that is on the letter of authenticity. Now imagine if we had one that was made in Australia, which I showed him like a video of the different variations that you can have for base set. That would be a little different right here, or it might just still say 1999 2000. I don't know how far they will go with identifying different variations, but I do hope this. I do hope that as they put these descriptions, on these letter of authenticities, I hope there's like some uniformity. Like the next blue wing box, I hope that, if it's just a regular one just like this, like this first one that I showed, I hope it's the same wording. It's 1999 Pokemon base set unlimited blue wing. It's not, Pokemon base set box, and it doesn't have the other stuff, because we have seen that with professional grading companies, especially in the beginning. There's different uniformities. Lack of uniformity within the same cards, within the same set. Sometimes abbreviations are used, different lines. Some lines are left out. If you remember with PSA, if you look at the original set, it's like 1999 Pokemon game. It's not even like base set, the original base set. Or Shadowless wasn't even something that was introduced later, because it was a term that was coined by Pokemon collectors. So we may see some kind of shift. I imagine they're still working through these things as they're figuring out all the different variations. But overall, I'm very happy. I think this presents well. Before we get into just kind of going over some of the stuff I already have, let me show you what this QR code does. All right, so it's my phone. Open up in Chrome. That's where I was trying to look up one of them before. I'm going to look up a different one this time. So I would assume, based off of this right here, that put XRAY 0617, and then I hit verify. Now it says no certification found for that serial number. So these have not yet been entered into the system. What I will do is, when I do get back the other submission with that I'm more excited about, because that one has to be still sent to the grading company as well, but they're still working on it. I will say that they've scanned 2 boxes they may have scanned more, but I had 2 boxes scanned in depth, and they sent me the scans for what was in there. And so I'm kind of excited about the cards that I could see that they could identify. And we'll go over all that. But what I'll do is, hopefully by the time I get that stuff back, I don't know how much longer it'll take on those. I did tell them to hold off on finishing those while they did these. These were the ones that were on the rush. So that's why I haven't gotten them back yet. But once I do get those back, from the grading company, again, not sure how long they even take over there. We'll check these out again, and we'll unless the other ones are already working, just so that I can show you what it looks like in X-Ray Authority's system for their registry, and we'll be able to see how that works. But I love the fact that there's a QR code there. You've got the website, you've got the name, the serial number, the letter of authenticity. It's nice and neat. It presents well. It's laminated. I really like. I can't believe that. I really like the fact that it's laminated. I mean, that is a plus. Don't stop doing that. Keep putting in that extra time to laminate these things nice and centered and rounding the corners. These are all nice touches that I believe they should hold on to. Don't go lax on that or go lazy. And you go to something cheaper, because this does make it look like a nice presentable brand type deal. But anyways, in regards to why I think this is very important. So when you're looking at these boxes, the only thing that essentially is different is now there's this little sticker. You would think, hey, now you've stuck something on the box that, it's there. It's not a part of the original box. Like, why does this help out the price? Well, I think for one, it really helps out the confidence in both the seller and the buyer. So I feel fully confident in selling these to anyone now. There are so many fakes out there. If you go on to eBay, there's a lot of people doing Etsy boxes, and some of them are starting to look really good. I can't pick this box up off of an eBay listing and look at the surface. I can't feel the plastic. I can't weigh the box. I can't even guarantee that the seller will answer my questions appropriately, because they may be aware that the boxes are fake. They may be aware that they're from Etsy, and they'll just say whatever they need to say to make sure that sale goes through, because they're trying to scam you. But for me, now as a seller, if somebody wants to buy this, I feel confident that I could send it to them, and now all I have to do is worry about them being a scammer, like on the end, the far end of that. But the good thing about this is usually the scammers don't deal in actually paying for 5-figure items. Now, that's not to say that there aren't people that do that, because there definitely are. But it's going to weed out a lot of the scammers, just because they're not going to be willing to put up that kind of money, because they know that even if they do try to scam someone like me or some other seller, it's going to be a fight, because I would take it as far as I needed to, fill out police reports, whatever it be, so that money would still get tied up somewhere. And if they ran with the money, like they might be able to do, then it's going to make them look even guiltier too. But anyways, it instills confidence. Now think about a graded card. Like, I don't even know if I have one over here. But anyways, just any graded card that you have, or if you're looking at this right here, if it's not graded, then you don't know for sure that it's real, but you can still look at the listing and kind of get a rough idea. You can think, okay, maybe this is fake, because there's only one layer. You've got the front of the card and you have the back of the card. And typically, if there's something fake about it, you'll be able to tell within the listing itself. And once you sell 1 or 2 fake cards, if it's high end, it's going to go through eBay Authenticity, so you have another layer. So you can only get scammed up to a certain point as it is. Yeah, it's possible that if a card is graded, it might be counterfeit, but it's not likely. It's really not likely. Again, it can happen. There are exceptions, but it's very small. So like when you add, it's already much easier to tell a raw card whether or not it's real or fake. But once you add that layer of grading, it's like, okay, now I'm almost positive this thing is real. I don't even have to really check it. And if it's beyond a certain point, even if the case is fake, it should be caught through eBay Authenticity, or I should be able to tell through the certification number, or when I get it in, there might be something wrong with the case because it's see-through. Well, you don't have that with sealed product. Sealed product, there are layers. Like the wrap could be fake. The box could be fake. The packs inside could be fake. The cards inside of the packs could be fake. The crimps could be resealed. The only thing you can see is the outside box and the cellophane. So like if this wrap and this box, they are real, the cards inside, if they're fake, you're not going to be able to tell unless they messed up somehow with the weights, and you get the box in hand and you can weigh it, or you can see something through right here through this flap. Sometimes you can move around the packs and you can see the cards. And these are different things that can be done, but only once they're in hand. You can't really tell by looking through a listing online or a post on Facebook or wherever it is that you're buying through Instagram. If somebody's trying to scam you, they might not even show this box. They could just show some fake box. But the thing is, I think with this right here, you're bringing in a third party professional that has a way to examine the contents inside the box without hurting the box. And so I think that this does add a lot of value because it adds confidence. It adds confidence not only now for me, like I don't feel like I have to open the box up or sell it to somebody that I really, really trust, but like I could take this to a show and I could sell it to a vendor and I have no problem if they open it up 3 years from now, because I know that right now, based off of what I've been able to examine, it's real. And then I've got this letter of authenticity where a company is backing it up, saying, hey, it is real. And this is base set too, so it doesn't match this box, but you've got this letter of authenticity. They've signed their names to it. They put their company name behind it. They've put it online where you can check out the certification number, XRAY 0629. And I imagine that's going to get long very quickly if they start to scale. And so to me, I believe this is a really good service. And the only thing here that you have to worry about is how confident are you in the ability of this XRAY authority to be able to scan these boxes and actually tell that they are authentic. So like that's where it gets a little tricky. But you guys know when I first saw it on, I think it was Golden Auctions, I was critical of like how they were examining it. And after speaking with them and going through the different things like how they actually check to make sure that these boxes are presenting cards that are real. Like, how do you know the difference between, like, if this is a first edition box, like, if all you can see is the foil layer, how do you not know there's unlimited packs in there? Somebody just put unlimited, but there are different ways that they are looking at these things, and they've done the most that they can with the information and the abilities of these X-ray machines to be able to determine that they're not repackaged, they're not resealed, the seals aren't tampered with, the cards inside do match with the box, there's the right amount of hollows, the right amount of packs in there, the weights, there's all kinds of different things that they do to be able to determine this. And honestly, like, this is a service where if I could send them off a case of stuff probably every week and get it back within a week, I would be doing so. But I think scale is the hardest thing for them right now, because it does take a bit of time, I think, to fully examine something like this, get those scans, make sure that, well, scan it, get the scans, verify the scans, then create the letter of authenticity in these things. So they're still coming into their own in that way. But I believe there's a lot of potential for this. And if PSA, if you happen to be listening, I think that this could be a great way for you to introduce something that the market wants, or I think the market will want, especially as we continue to see price surges on sealed product and people wanting things as original as they can while still being able to display it. Like, I think sealed cases are great, but I like the idea of taking a sealed case and taking those boxes out of there and having the minty, uncirculated, displayable pieces that people can connect with. And even with the grading part of it, that's just something, another layer that you can add to it. But anyways, definitely I appreciate you guys for watching the video. I know this was a lot of me talking, kind of long-winded, but I wanted to show you the results that I have so far, and I'm very pleased with what I have. I mean, I guess I would be less pleased if I had something that failed authenticity, but none of them failed. They all passed, and so now I feel confident in being able to move these. I don't know what I plan to sell, because now I almost want to just tuck them away and set them back, because I have full confidence in the purchase that was made and knowing where it come from. Being able to see that the certification numbers are there with the letter of authenticity just adds another layer of safety and confidence in the product that I have. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll try to have another one out hopefully soon, but it might be a week if I'm being a little lazy. All right, thanks.